Warm afternoon to all my 90s. I, Sakshi Singh, welcome you all in today's economics session. Well, my dear students, this is second session of the chapter People as Resource. Okay? So, in the first session, I dealt with few of the key terms. Okay? You all know that. Few of the key terms I also explained you. Fine. Because all those terms are related to this chapter, that is people as resource. Fine. So now before I proceed with the further topic, I would like to discuss few things. Let's have a look. See, here you can see that two terms, people and resource. Okay, these two terms were also there in my previous video. People, we are taking it as a population. Fine. Resources means which we can turn into benefit. Okay. Like here, if we talk about, we are basically referring our Indian population as an asset. Okay. But do not forget that as far as Indian population is concerned, it is a liability and the whole sole responsibility is upon us, that how are we going to change our Indian population from a liability to an asset. Okay, let's have a look. So towards that, the first step is that, see here you can see one picture. Okay, one image you can see that started with the smallest one and then it leads to greatest one. Means this is called investment. Fine. Investment? What do you mean by investment? So before that, you should know benefits of investments in human resource for a benefit. What are those further investments? See, increase in returns, but obvious. Okay, people will earn more profits, but obvious, because see, whenever we have investment in people's education, if we train them, okay, and if we are, you can say, if our medical facilities are quite good, don't you think that your productivity will also increase and you will become, you can say, more skilled? Just think about that. Okay, because whenever we are educated, we are trained, and we are of course healthy. As you all know, health is wealth. So but obvious, it will increase in the productivity, not for us, but if you talk about Indian economy as well. It's not only individual, because if we increase our income individually, but obviously we are contributing something or the other towards the economy as well. Don't you think that? How? I'll give you one example. You are a student now. Okay? Your parents are investing their money and you are investing your time and your effort. Don't you forget that. Okay? For what you are investing? Time and your effort. You are attending online classes also, you are giving your time, you are doing your work, you are submitting your work. Why? So that you are going to be benefited in the future. In what way? You will get good job. You are going to contribute in country's income. Isn't it? How? Because if you earn, but obvious, individually, you are going to purchase something. By that, your purchasing power would increase. Okay? So in that way, if you are going to buy something, you are giving money against that. So that's the contribution towards the economy, and that is an activity, that is a part of activity. Okay. So if you wish, you can jot down all these points in your fair copy. Well, human resource, my. Human resource, it's a term. Everywhere it is there. Okay. It means that workforce. Fine. Just look into the definition. People who are the part of the workforce, that is the human resources. Okay. By contributing in productivity, the human resource plays a significant role in our economy, and it plays vital role in our economy. Okay. Any other resource becomes useful only when the input by the human resource, when the human resource would be giving input, when they get, okay, But obvious, when they are giving input, they will give output as well. Okay, so see here, just now we talked about investment, we contribution, we talked about asset, we talked about liability. Human resource, basically it's what that we need to invest in that. How? Through education. We should make them trained, okay, and we should give them good medical facilities as well. Means human capital. We will have to invest human capital in human resource. That is human capital formation. Okay. Now the next. So the next topic is economic activities. Well, you all know that every individual, whether a child, whether a male, whether a female, whether you, everyone, XYZ under the sky, they are doing certain activities. Okay? Where? In the economy only. So, what sort of activities I am talking about? Like you people are studying, I am teaching, your mother is cooking for you. Even your mother is teaching as well. Your father is working. I am just taking example from your life only. It would be easy for you to understand that. Okay? Now, these are all activities and we have divided these activities into two types of activities. First is economic, second is non-economic. So today I am going to discuss economic activities and tomorrow I will discuss non-economic activities. Okay? There are four types of economic activities: production, distribution, consumption and exchange. Production you have already studied in first chapter. Okay, just producing goods and services. Then distribution, we distribute it. Okay. Then consumption, when the goods and services are being produced, it is not distributed to everyone. Now it's ready to consume. Means we are having the goods and services before us to consume that. Okay, for an example, I am talking about chocolates. It's being manufactured, distributed, produced, distributed, and now it is ready and it is there before your eyes and you are eating chocolates. Exchange. Last point is exchange. You are not going to get chocolates in free. You will have to pay certain amount. Okay. Whatever the services and goods you are getting and whatever the services you are rendering, okay, you need to pay against those services as well as goods. And that is in the form of money. That is monetary. Monetary terms means in terms of money. Okay. So let's have a look to different definition of production. See, exchange, you all know that transfer of goods and services against you will have to give something. Then you can say production, then it's consumption and distribution. So I would request that you all write all these notes in your fair copy. See, can you see here in an image? What can you see? It's a vegetable market, fruit market, and some shops are also there. Okay. So there are certain activities. Can't you see this? If you see here, there are certain activities going on. We are in economic activities. We are there. We are in a market. In a very layman's language, I am telling it to you that we are here in a market. In market, there is an exchange of what? Buying and selling. These are the two process only. Okay? Buying and selling. And the term of buying and selling is what? That is a trade. You buy, okay, something, you will have to give something. If you are going to sell something, definitely you are going to get something in return. That is what economic activity is. Economic activities means purchasing, buying, selling. We produce, we distribute, we consume and we exchange. All these are what? These are economic activities. Okay. Like teacher teaching, driver is driving a car, employment. If you talk about, like, there is it between employer and employee, businessman and his employers, even you can say. Now why? Because there is an exchange of what? Services and money. Teacher teaches, she gets salary. Okay, she gets salary. Where now business, there is a boss, okay, who manages everything. So when he gives salary to his employers, okay, to his employees. So employees, what they do? render services. Okay. So here, all activities that involve money or exchange of products or services are called economic activities. Economic activities solely is on the terms of monetary, means money. Where you have money, that is economic activities where you get something in terms of money only, and if you give something, that you get money in return to that. Am I clear to you all? It will be pretty much clear to you with the next example. Let's have a look. Economic activities can be categorized into three types. We talked about a lot about activities, as this activity, that activities, but there is lot: producing, distributing, exchange. So we have divided into three categories: primary, secondary and tertiary. You may have studied these terms in your geography also. Okay. So here you can see the images. Primary sector is what? Mining, animal husbandry. Main is in agriculture, means extracting natural resources. That is primary activity, that is the first activity. Okay. Now secondary sector, industry, energy and mining. You can see the images here, you can see the examples also here. Manufacturing, that is sector, that is where we manufacture. Industries we set up to manufacture, that is secondary activity. Last one is tertiary sector. Tertiary sector is basically, it's a service sector. We also call it a service sector. Why? Because it renders services. For example, financial institutions, you can say banking, okay. There are a lot. Trading, it all comes under this tertiary sector. Here also you can say, if you talk about schools, okay, restaurants, because you go to restaurant. Right now I know that you people might be missing restaurants, restaurant food. But still, you will have to wait, okay? You go to restaurant, you eat, you sit there, you eat the food of your own choice, but this is not like in free, okay? You will have to give certain amount for that, fine? Now, okay, so these are the things in this topic, economic activities, you will have to know. In the next class, we will proceed towards non-economic activities. I hope that this presentation is going to be helpful to you all. Till then, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye bye.